got tortilla in my mouth.
On the knifing.
Okay. Apparently we're live. I do have tortilla in my mouth. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Hello and welcome to Chaos TV. We are bringing you another awesome game. We do have Anexis eSuba now. I believe you have just been graced by the NZ Metas combo. And tonight you have me and the gorgeous Pansy. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright. Sorry, excuse me when I crack into some orange juice. Lee has just surprised us into dropping us into the live, so tell me, Lauren, predictions for this game, what are we thinking?
I think it's stupid not to back Anexis, so
straight. There have been a lot of surprise results in this cup though, to be fair. Didn't Anexis get knocked?
Anexis, come on.
Well, you have to. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't put eSuba at the same level as them. As a whole, I mean, if I was ranking teams, like in the order, I would think eSuba would really appear until maybe 6 or 7. If that. Yeah. But yeah, you have just seen the knife go to. I think I actually went to eSuba, and we see Crash and City straight away, dying a horrible death. And so we do now know, because I believe this is a best of 3, so we're going to see Backlot up first for Anexis. That is a shock. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, Anexis picking Backlot, followed by eSuba on cross.
Who'd have thought it, eh?
Indeed. Well, I don't know. I've seen. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Anexis lose quite a few games on a backlot. Or is that still there? You know, the game that no one's beating them on.
I think a few people have gone tit for tat with them, but I still wouldn't particularly be comfortable going, yeah, let's pick Backlot against one of the best teams. It's not, something I'd go straight away in for.
Indeed, okay. Well, there you go. I think we are. I'm going to support the underdog just because I can and put my money on eSuba. However, we do see Anexis are going to be very strong in this game, and I believe as a lower bracket final, that it's no team have an advantage, do they? I believe they're both just going to be over 2 maps minimum, or is it one of those things where they come down from the upper bracket and so they only have to win 1?
I would love to tell you, but I haven't followed this, at all. So,
apologies for our disorganisation, ladies and gentlemen. Last minute casting. I mean, a big thanks to Pansy for stepping in. I believe 3 minutes ago. I think I asked you to.
I'd say 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big thanks to her. And we're just gonna get the ready up on the go. I've been told that the stream is a little bit quiet. Do give us our feedback. I don't know. That's what I was told. Hang on. Yeah. It doesn't seem too quiet. Okie dokie. Right. Well, the last people to ready up, and we're going to see the guy. We're going to go back into another knife round, which is so unexciting. So instead, let's talk about your LAN. You went to I-45, did you not?
I did indeed.
I-44?
44, it's 44.
So many.
It's definitely 44.
Okay, well, how was your I-44? I mean, what did you were just kind of chilling, casting, having a good time, weren't you?
Yeah, a little bit of chill, a lot more being nervous about casting the finals.
True.
I was pretty chilled till I walked on stage, sat down, and was like, oh god. People are listening to me with some sort of hope that I might have insight. Absolutely terrifying, but it was fun.
That's great. Was that your first stage experience, really? Like, obviously, casting, I mean.
Yeah, I do believe so. D-Man was fantastic. He made me feel more than comfortable. You can tell that he's been experiencing this for far too long, and he's very good at what he does.
I can imagine.
Oh, yes. But no, he made it a lot easier to kind of get into, and you kind of start enjoying it. And definitely on the second map, which was City Streets, it became actually fun. So.
Good to hear.
I'm sure you'll find out eventually if you get the chance to cast on stage how awkward it can be. Never.
Well, I casted I-43.
Very true. And I guess you can understand how hard it is to cast when you can't say where they're going.
Well, me and Menace were just sat on stage, and I'll be honest with you, my palms have never been so sweaty, especially when you've got this little man in your ear talking to you, like saying, okay, we're going to camera 2. I'm like, where's camera 2? Where should I be looking? What's going on? But yeah, great experience. Okay, I didn't even see who that knife one went to, but we do see Anexis on the attack. Which, let's be honest, I think either side, it's not really going to do anything besides maybe 2-minute conversation between them changing their tactics a tiny bit. Anexis really have got some seriously set in stone and adaptable tactics to anything eSuba can throw at them. And I'm going to be interested to see how eSuba play this. But confidence from Sexax there. I think there's a couple of people, especially Froz, who are a big fan of Sexax. Expecting him to do big things this game. For eSuba though, I'm going to put my wild card on Fint. I reckon he's going to be. Is he playing scope? I know he is a decent one. No, he's actually got AK. So we'll see how that plays out, especially on a map like Backlot. Go on then, Pansy, take the first round away.
Okay, well, following the trend of a fellow shoutcaster, I'm going to have to see what the scopes can do off the bat here. Following Fint, as you've hyped him up, he does get the tag with a nade, no frag, but Trunk steps up to the plate, does pick up 2 for himself. Bocco Future out of the game, leaving eSuba here with a touch of advantage straight away. Now, as the play slows down, we can see eSuba trying to get themselves into slightly better positions and wait for Anexis to make their way to them. But as there's nothing happening with the scopes, because they're going to be so cautious, Anexis, because they've already lost 2, I'm going to see where they're at. We don't have any of the SMGs up for Anexis. Bocco and Future out, so we're left with the AKs, and I do believe a scope. But Zikox has made his way into that mid-house. Speaking about trying to claw a frag back, does get tagged up. Doesn't manage to drop, but Zikox within an inch of his life. Bullets flying around him left, right and centre. Nothing happening though. It's all a little bit slow and a little bit waiting for it all to kick off. But we do have Stormy making his way into that A-bomb with bomb in hand. Peeking the corners. Can't see any players, but they are surrounding him. They're waiting for their moment to pounce. The fake goes down. Zikox picks up 1, taking Sexac out of the picture. Left in a 4-on-3, still in favour to eSuba. So we notice 1 in A, takes him down. Hectic out of the game. 3-on-3, 3-on-2, Anexis taking the advantage, and we are waiting for Zikox truly to step up to the plate here and see what he can do. Try and fire off the spam, but the bomb has gone down in A, and now eSuba have a rather uphill struggle against them. Zikox finally down. KZs are replying, and it's all left on Fint, who does spot 1 top A, doesn't manage to land the frag. At least he knows where 1 is, but the clock is ticking as someone peeks out low and does pick up the frag. That was Stormy, and the first round will be going to Anexis.
Wow, coming back from such a blow so early on in the round. Just clawing it back, nice and slow play. And sometimes people doubt whether slow play can work on Backlot, and that's just a prime example of how bringing that round down to your own pace and playing at your own game is just, it can be so vital to winning a round. As this time the first 10 nade goes in favour of Future. Bocco backing him up as well. Wow, Truemate and Hectic both falling. And now eSuba, only 2 men remaining, Finte and Sexax. What can these guys do? Finte diving out of ruins, nothing for it though, as he does come into contact with 1. Who is that? I think it's KZ Style, as it does get pushed. It's gonna be... Oh, KZ Style does fall to his deagle, and now a 1v4 has emerged as the bomb goes down from Future. Not looking likely for eSuba at the moment. There it is, frag from Bocco, number 2 for him, and 2-0. Anexis looking very strong at the moment.
Very much so. And from the scoreboard, you can see it's pretty even for Anexis, picking up the frags wherever they need them. You know, B side, A side, picking up those nades. But eSuba being slightly carried away by Trunk here. But let's see what the SMGs are doing for the Anexis side on attack here. Zikox waiting for the nades, bomb in hand. Sees the smoke go down. Here's the nades dropping. Doesn't die to them. Cautiously making his way to A. Making sure no eSuba player has got all up in his grill. As he does have backup in the form of a player sitting at front A, waiting and holding his push. But he is surrounded by eSuba men, and Hectic will pick up the frag onto Future there, leaving Anexis on the slight back foot. But Bocco in quite a strong position. Trunk picking up on Troon with another. eSuba stepping up on this game now, really picking up the frags. 2-on-4. Zikox, I do believe, with a hell of a lot to do. He's waiting for his push, but waiting for that bomb to go down in A, but nothing is happening as Troon will pick up the frag. And it is all left onto 1 Anexis player, which is KZ. Picks up 1, 3 to find. AK in hand, peeking around every corner that you can see. No one quite peeking out of any corner. Does spot 1, Fint down. That's a scope already out for eSuba here, but a little bit careless from him, if I must say. The spray comes in from A, because it already knows that there's going to be 1 around that Gerda's area, so he's going to be cautious. Try and bait him out. Try and work out where this other player is. Bomb in hand, makes his way into the A-bomb site. He's got to know they're going to be watching him. Will he be going for the gutsy plant? Bomb almost down. Tags coming in left, right and centre, and Troom will pick up the frag onto KZ, so taking it to just 1 round difference now.
Indeed. Now, I'm going to pick it up next to SMG because I think it could have just been a bad round. But let's go with Future. But I swear to God, eSuba did not nade that great card. Such a vital nade. And, you know, maybe just under the pressure, maybe with name or something, but I do not know why. No team should ever not be nading that still, though. Only frag so far has been from Zikox. 1 down for eSuba. Make that 2, though, as KZ Star chimes in with 1 on mid. Future trying another frag for his team. Not going to happen. Both SMGs for Anexis are in the A site now. Zikox and him holding hands. Fake coming out. Oh, Stormy diving to his death. A massive exchange of frags. And suddenly a 2v1 emerges. Zikox getting that bomb down. Sexax way over in ruins.
Planted.
Distance is not key in this situation. Both SMGs are just kind of spreading themselves out across the A site. They know they've got plenty of time to get themselves into really strong positions. Sexax has got a lot to do. Still chilling in mid, expecting some sort of push from Bocco. Is actually spot on as he does just miss him. Bocco knows he doesn't need to do much. Oh, he's Sexax coming around the corner. Surely this is going to be his. No, it's not. Bocco was there with that AK. And 3-1. Another strong round from Anexis.
Very much so. These boys are far too good at these little one-on-one battles to let that go. So, going to see what Zikox is doing oh so right for the Anexis team, as I do believe he is top of the scoreboard for them on 62. So he does have the SMG in hand, making his way towards that A-bomb site. Flash is coming in. Nade's not landing, but Bocco tagged up. And Zikox will cautiously peek about. Stormy, Nade dropping onto Sexax, picking up the first kill. KZ another nade. But eSuba picked up 1 while they waited to make it a 4-3 in favour to Anexis still. Troom getting tagged up, but nothing coming of it, just giving away another position. KZ cautiously peeking up onto that top B side, opening this map up now. Very much in the favour of Anexis. Spots 1 in A, tags him up, doesn't land the frag onto Hectic, but calls it to his teammates as Zikox will rotate to B, leaving it to the 2 eSuba men to do something with, as they are both in that A bomb site. Troom does spot him top B, doesn't manage to land the frag. Now he does. Stormy picking up 1. Troom all on his lonesome with 3 Anexis players to find. Spots 1 on the mid roof there, does manage to land the frag, but does get tagged up for his troubles. Spray is definitely coming in left, right and centre. Stormy will drop to the AK work of Troom here, as he's left with a 2-on-1 with Bocco and Zikox standing tall, defending that B bomb site. And Bocco with a perfectly timed little peek there, taking him straight out of the game.
Dude, I mean, Bocco, I didn't even think he was going to move. He was in a top position for defending that B bomb. But yeah, just the right amount of body shown. Lovely to see. Right, I'm going to pick up with an eSuba player. Who have we got for eSuba? I'm going to go with Fint. Scope in hand once again. Also, Smoke's coming out on this B side. Could be a bit of another one of these Nexus splits, which they seem to be so dominant. As KZ does pick up the frag to Sexax on that B side. Just chilling around MG at the moment. Doesn't need to do much more. As Zikox gets another on that A side, just decimating any sort of defense on the A side. Bocco as well, and suddenly Fint all alone. Bottom ruins. And this is not looking likely. 5 men to find, 1 minute to do so. Shortly made into 40 seconds. Finally, the first does come up for him. KZ Star fallen. 4 still to find. Oh, gets the second. Stormy falling. They're not going to get the third, though. His Future is just charging towards him. There's MG. Fearless play from him. And 5-1. My God, Anexis. This is most definitely a strong map for them. Well, this is Anexis in general, isn't it, really?
It is. They control that mid area. They get the usual picks. They land the nades, and they just work it. And Zikox did have a front spawn there, so I'm going to see what he can do. Well, he can catch a grenade. That is what he can do, as he did try and make his way through that, indeed, rat hole area. But giving eSuba the slight advantage now with 1 man down, the top fragger, the danger man. Out of the way, Sexax with another. Bocco out of the picture. Evening it back into the favour of eSuba with a touch of hope in their eyes, as Fint will pick up another, taken down by Stormy, leaving Stormy and Future with it all to do. Stormy finally dropping to the SMG there of Trunk, but leaving Future with a mountain to climb, as he will be leapt round the corner, but met by no one other than Troom. But he will drop to the SMG work of Future here. I've got to be watching, as he does have 2 players to find, but I wouldn't put it past this man, who is renowned for his ability, as he does know one's around the A-bomb side. He can smell him, he knows he's there, but he can't quite spot him, as he is peeking every corner in sight, but nothing coming to the good, as he knows they're awaiting his every move, and he is trying to make his way towards the B-bomb site, I do believe, but he will be met by another eSuba player, which is Sexax, playing very cautiously and very disciplined. But this could be his undoing if Future does commit to this, and unless he does get spotted by Hectic here walking across, and somehow Hectic's missed it. No, he hasn't. He's going to call it to his teammate, turns around, picks up the frag, and that's how vital it is to cover your teammates. That was a centimetre.
That was comms. That was some
indeed.
fast comms. My God. I thought I was just going to shout at the timing of this game again. I mean, it's literally, I don't know another game that has such stupidly large amount of moments like that, whereby someone will miss someone by a millisecond or just turn away as they begin to push. It's just unreal. Something about the players, maybe. Sexax thinks he's covered the bottom ruins, but as KZ Star's already made his way up, he's going to take down Finn. Can he get the second? Such good play from KZ Star. Controlling that B side completely disables any sort of kind of cross-map defense on that A side. As KZ Star's going to land the frag to Sexax as well. Bomb going down, all on Trunk. Trunk with one. Trying to get the second one to Stormy. Not going to happen, and Stormy actually gets slaughtered by his own teammate. Bocco is the man to finally end Trunk's reign of power on the A side. And wow, 6-2. And you have to give it to KZ Star. That is such a brutal push.
Oh, very much so. He is very dominant on this map. You can see how confident he is, and he's really utilising what he has. Nexus really dominating both sides of this map. They're not giving away on B. They're holding strong. KZ Star with that AK standing tall, saying, "You are not pushing up my street," but he does have two eSuba players very much peeking on the B side and finally taken down by Sexax. There's a slight hint of hope here for the eSuba team, but can they capitalise on it? Stormy picking up one, picking up another. Two players out of the game for the eSuba team as we are left in a 3-on-3. Quickly made to a 3-on-2 by Bocco's Deagle there. They have got the bomb towards the A bomb site, but will Future make the most of it, as he will have a player making his way towards that Girders area, about to take him down, and that is true, and he knows he does take down Future. Vital frag for the Super team, leaving it all to the man who just took the bomb plant out of the game. He's left with Bocco, and I believe it's Stormy to find Bocco on an absolutely hot round here, picking up two already with that SMG. Can he find the third? True definitely spots one, flying across the fence of Bocco. Incredible play, leaping along the fence like there's no tomorrow, and just taking him down.
Wow, and I would not like to be in these Super shoes right now. Despite really giving their best effort, you can see that they're trying everything. This time they're sending the scope Fint actually to the A side, trying to stagger that push through L-bend. And nothing comes of it. I mean, this is different play from KZ Star. We see him actually, instead of pushing Ruins, trying to jam someone on tin. No over early frags this round. First blood nearly going down. It was Stormy. Finally, it's Future to fall as Bocco does respond onto Trunk. Nice nade from Sexax onto L-bend as Bocco gets that second onto Troom. eSuba falling to Bocco's AK really a little bit too easily. As KZ decided to take down Hectic. Nice play from Anexis now as they're just slowing this round down. Finally, Zekox has made his way to the A site. Hunting in perfect stead for Bocco as Bocco picks up that third. Can he get a fourth?
Explosives
Eyes
planted.
are locked on Finte's position. Can he pick it up though? He does with the Deagle. Bocco just screaming Anexis as he charges out of mid-house, and wow, 14 frags for 3 deaths. That is an incredible score, and only 10 rounds in as well.
Very much so. Bocco is absolutely on fire, and I'm going to have to follow him off this round. As you can see, they're controlling that mid area, controlling the pace, waiting for their moment to pounce. Bocco tagging up one SMG player. I do believe it was Trunk in that mid section, but he'll know someone's already in his face from B. They've been so aggressive trying to break that defense, but will he spot him? No, he won't. No one dropping to the first nades and spam, and now the play slows down, but Finn finally taking the man of the moment out of the picture. As we will wait for the next pick to happen, and Troom almost looking him in the face and does take Zekox out. That was incredibly tense. It could have been slightly awkward. Troom with another. Troom absolutely on form now, but Future taking him out of the picture. We're left in a 2-on-4 with Anexis, finally with a touch of a struggle on their hands. Can they come up strong again? KZ spots one. Can't manage to land the frag as Hectic will finally step up and take him out, as we are left all in the hands of Future here towards the A-bomb, but Sexax cutting him straight out of the game, and that was finally a little bit of resistance there from the eSuba side.
Indeed, and I think every round is a bonus for them at the moment. I think 8-4, despite being just a horrible ratio to look at, it's still a lot better looking than 9-3, and I think this round could be very key to eSuba's confidence. So I'm going to pick it up with Trunks. He's making a very aggressive way towards the bricks. Does take down one in the form of Zekox. Not going to get the second as Bocco just once again dominating anyone that comes near that mid-house. Future alongside him, as is Stormy. Dexex on the response though, as is Fint. This is not what I like to see from eSuba. Really holding that tin side, as with Fint in ruins. Stormy though making his way up towards mid-house. But What? I think he did hear one around red containers. Going to check it. Going to spot him. Oh, Sexax not going to be happy with that one. And going to get the second. Surely does. Nice play from Stormy, just utilising every weapon in his arsenal. Has been picking up SMG and AK. And 9-3 half. Brutal for the eSuba side.
Very much so. Going into attack now, I wouldn't feel confident. You're coming up against a very strong brick wall of incredible players. It's not what you need.
Indeed. So, you know, as someone that has played at the real top of yourself, how would you maybe try and encourage your team to kind of maybe get out of what is definitely, I'd describe as an Anexis rut?
There's very little you can do. Once the Anexis get that ball rolling, they ain't stopping. And it's very rare you'll break them once they, you know, really pick it up, as they get so comfortable in being good at what they do. And but saying that, eSuba straight away picking up 3 frags there. That is a sign of a team who are comfortable with each other, who can happily pick it up when they need. But Future finally replying with an SMG frag of his own. But the Anexis players are slightly scattered here, as Future will have to hold A almost on his own, as he does have one player creeping towards him. But Trunk will become the victor of that one-on-one. And finally, eSuba show a little bit of class and a little bit of life there, picking up the first round on attack.
Nice to see. Okay, that's another receiver player. See what their SMGs can do this round. Gonna pick it up with... I'm not entirely sure who's doing anything. Let's go with Hectic then. This is gonna try and beat those A-nades he has. This is impressive. Hectic, oh, and I spoke way too soon. Zikox with a lovely little nade, just stopping him right as he climbs up that ladder. Brutal nade from him. As Troom responds onto Bucko. Zikox onto Troom though, as Zikox has picked up 2. Going to be Future to mop it up, and a ridiculously fast round for the Anexis side. 10-4 is your scoreline, and wow. eSuba needs to change something, and fast.
Yeah, I think Anexis took that almost for granted a little bit too much there, as they dropped the first round and then they quickly woke up and came to their senses and thought, oh guys, we better turn this up a little bit, you know. You can't let people like eSuba just... You can't give them that inch. You've got to really step it up, as KZSR will take this first blood away from the eSuba team, taking Fint out of the game. The scope has been doing so well, but Trunk falling to his death. In between that Hectic, KZSR with a fantastic little tap there onto Sexax. We are left with the advantage very much in the hands of Anexis, so we do have Trim and Hectic trying to find a moment, trying to find an inch of weakness within the Anexis team and get the frag that could break this growing stronghold that Anexis seem to have, but Bocco will take Hectic out of the game, leaving it to Troom. 1-on-4, tags flying up. Picks up the first. Bocco down. Can he do it? He's got 3 players to find. He's confident, he's cautious, but Future is far too strong and far too good, and will take the score to 11-4.
Now, are they kind of taking the mickey here? But I'm pretty sure I see Bocco with scope. Is this a new development, or is this them just having a laugh?
I think every now and then Bocco will pick up scope. I think they're versatile enough as a team that they can switch it up. You know,
right.
And I don't think at a scoreline like this they're too bothered anyway. If I'm honest, it's almost garbage time. But let Bocco have his fun.
My God, yes, indeed. I mean, Bocco, he's certainly not struggling, as he's just picked up 2 frags this round alone, trying to get the third just on that ruins area. And I'm not gonna lie to you. He's picked up 20 for 8, just below Stormy with 11. This is a ridiculously strong play from him. How long ago he picked up scope, I'm not entirely sure. But either way, he is really doing well with it, and it shows just the diversity of players at this kind of standard. And now eSuba are actually looking relatively strong. Finte and Sexax both still standing. Bomb with Finte around that B side, but I don't know about you, but with Stormy just in tin, and they are well aware of that, I would not want to take that bomb that way. Finte though, risking it, and what was he thinking? Sexax was pegging his way towards A, unbeknown to him. I think. Oh, but hang on. I think Stormy thought the bomb was in the hands of Sexax, and suddenly Stormy is making his way towards mid. And he's just... Oh, has he enabled the cross to happen? He does spot Sexax on the cross. Sexax, I'm not so sure what to do now. Stormy stealthing his way with that golden AK. Knows the time limit. Oh, and lovely play from Stormy. 1v2 situation. Little sigh of relief for Anexis as they do pick up that 12th round.
And I must say, Hectic here, not performing quite to plan, as he is on a touch of a bad squad. Let's see what he's doing so wrong in this game so far. So he's making his way to A with that SMG in hand. He's flying around and doesn't manage to drop to this. Well, player in front of him doesn't manage to pick up the frag. Now he does, future out of the game. But does get dropped by the slight 1D of Boko there, but we'll be left in a 3-on-3. The pace slowed down, but we know how good eSuba.
Come from?
I don't know, I think it was above him, but Boko picked up another with the scope, and it was all left in the hands of Trion once again, who seems to be always at MG, not quite doing much with it, but I can see it's very much going to Anexis as he is walking around the deagle in hand, but he does have a player on that B-bomb. Spray coming in. Can he take him out of this picture here, giving a slight hope to clutch this round for the ever-fading chances of winning this game, which I very much doubt is going to happen. Does get slightly tagged up, but doesn't manage to drop as he does spot a player at B and peeking above that wall, but K-Z Star far too strong to drop to the spam of True.
Indeed, and I'm still in a little bit of disbelief because I am convinced Hectic was at the bottom of that ladder and he was avoiding a nade and got killed by a deagle from top A. Now,
yeah,
I'm not very good with angles, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't work. So,
it's COD geometry. It's a very different kind of thing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do some research into that deagle after this lovely game. Now, whether or not this is gonna change, I mean, I've seen Crossfire chosen. Debatably, Anexis is. Are you sighing at me? Are you
I'm sighing at this map. You know my dislike for it. I dislike it doing it at LAN.
I think a lot of people dislike it. Yeah.
It's the worst map in the game. I'm sorry. I'm going to put it out there. I hate it.
If this map was to play football at school, it would be pick last.
Oh, perfect analogy there.
Well,
it really would be.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Debatable as to how good Crossfire would be at football, but still.
I don't think we can make such calls on things.
Indeed.
Sorry,
okay.
machine.
Right then, just going to see what's going on. They're going to have to knife the sides again, which is always thoroughly enjoyable and really makes no difference to the outcome of the game, but still, it is...
Well, you say that. Crossfire is probably the only map in that...
Go
Crossfire
on.
is the only map, I'd say, that side can genuinely make a vast difference. Obviously, there's a slight advantage on having defense on certain maps, and I mean slight, generally from confidence point of view, it's not from the actual map. But Crossfire is so attack dependent, you can get away with murder being able to get that side. And you know, I think that showed in a couple of games at LAN especially. They got the attacking side, they took away the lead, they took the confidence, they go into defense with a slight, you know, advantage is good. You've got that little bit of leeway, you've got those few rounds to lose if you mess up and you've got time to adapt. But, you know, going into slightly harder half and being down, it's depressing. So I think attack is vital on this map. It's one that I'd ever tell people to play seriously.
Well, I think I fully agree with that, but then there's another element as to when, you know, if attack doesn't go too well, you know, if you have taken attack first, then you kind of almost feel like you're falling back on your weaker leg, almost, you know, falling back into the defence and not feeling maybe as confident in pulling back those key rounds. So I agree. It's definitely I think people will agree that attack is the easiest side to dominate on. However, whether or not it should come first or second is, I think, it's a matter of opinion. And so we do see knifing occurring. Woo!
Woo!
Go on, cast it. I know you want to.
I don't want to cast knifing.
Oh, fine.
It's like casting a coin flip, and it makes its way into the air, slowly glide. It's not going to happen.
Oh, I was about to get excited.
I know, but I'd love to hear you try and cast this.
Oh,
whoa.
As exciting as that sounds.
Oh, Stormy's picking the game up here. Look at him, knife in hand, like the devil he is, but nothing really exciting happening. Unless Sex clutches this, then I might eat my hat. If you find me a hat, I shall eat it if he wins this 1-on-3.
Oh, okay. Find a tasty hat.
Well, it can be any hat, see?
Oh, okay. Fine.
Confident.
Right then, so I believe they're going to be sticking with it. Hang on, wait a second. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. I was about to get a little bit surprised then, as Anexis bravely chose to defend first. No, we do see them choosing attack, an understandable choice. So, what was the score last map? I'm absolutely terrible. I believe it was 13-3.
Dominated.
13-3. Tied a little spiked collar around.
It was 4. Give him 4.
4. I apologise. 4 rounds. At least eSuba picked up out of the possible 24. Right then, let's see who we can glide into. Let's go with Bocco this round, the man that performs so well on backlot. What he's going to do, does get the nade out towards that B alley, does want to stop any sort of fast play into that Melons as he wiggles his way into mid-street, going to be stopped by the spray of Strunk. Strunk, eh? Trunk.
That's a new one.
I apologise. Nice play from Trunk as we go back to Super SMG. It is actually Troom who's holding the A side. Almost, he's actually very alone on the A side. Going to counter one in that basement area if he continues to push. As he does a bit of pushing, does get quickly sprayed and changes his mind by Future, who's just dancing around Melon. Does have the bomb in hand as KZ Star takes down Troom. Oh, and that was a key frag, but not the frag he should have picked up. Finte stops that plant in its tracks. Future taking a bullet to the brain, and now suddenly 3v3. KZ Star under some fire from eSuba. Finte as well. Not going to go down, though, to the SMG of Zikox. Zikox making his way now into the A house. KZ Star with the second, though, onto Hectic. And Stormy, like he's about to jump onto that bus. Can be such a key position as he continues the search for the scope. It's going to be Sexax he finds, though, as Finte leaps, or attempts to leap onto those barrels. Make his way up now towards the A house. Going to be Zikox there. Zikox just waiting, lying in wait in that A house, and finally just Finte off guard. And there we go, first round. What I'm sure is going to be a lot of rounds to the Anexis side.
Yeah, every time I've seen Anexis on this map, they're so oh, whoa. I'm watching Stormy here. He's doing some incredibly sad wallbang, and I don't know where it goes or what it is, but it's through a set of stairs. What the hell is that? But no one dropping to the first bit to spam there, but Zikox picking up the first frag onto Trunk. Super replying with one onto Zikox, taking him out of the game, and Fint with another onto Bocco, and the real essence of what eSuba is with Anexis is, which is their speed on this map, is very much cut to size as it is left in the 3-on-4, very much in the favour of eSuba here, who can now sit back. They can relax. They're taking those aggressive players out, but Future taking Hector down for peeking a little bit too much there and punishing him for that. And just got to play so cautious. The Storm to pick up another, and eSuba are letting this literally fall by the wayside. As KZ will send out some spam towards Kaffers. The bomb is definitely trying to be put down by Future here, and we wait to see what these super players can do as the spam will come in onto that B-bomb side, but doesn't drop. And that was from Sexax, but is all left on the man from Caff and Stormy, picking up 3 that round.
Wow, and play. I mean, I struggle to understand what eSuba can do about what's happening at the moment. Like, Anexis have got this map so down to a T. We just go with Fint so we can get a nice overview of the map from the eSuba perspective. And straight away, he is doing just what he should be doing, just watching that picks across the street. Nothing for it, though, as he does just pummel some bullets into the smoke. KZ Star, only man to pick up a frag so far. Now, you see, if he was Chris Wow and at a LAN, it could have gone very differently. Only one man down from eSuba. Yeah, well, that is a bit of an interesting discussion topic. I think we'll dive into that maybe next knife round if it occurs. Still, though, this is a little bit different play from both sides. No opening frags, really, but despite one nade, as the fakes dive in once again. This is very, very standard play from the Anexis side. Hectic, the only man from eSuba to make a dent into Anexis. 2 players from eSuba left. Well, Fint, this is where we need you to do something. He does, just out of time, though, as Future did manage to get that bomb down, and now we see Anexis hit their prone keys. This is that, as right, ladies and gentlemen. Zikox diving into A, and I don't think eSuba are aware that he's actually in there. Oh, and this could go very, very badly. Does stay down 1. Can he get the second with that deagle? It is Fint in that B alley. Zikox knows he doesn't need to do anything. Quite prone, that's right. Till he hears that bomb going down, he just needs to chill. And chill he does in that A house. 15 seconds, that time just going down every second. Zikox just dancing around bottom A, finding a push out on that 8-second mark. And he has to hold this defuse. Not going to get it though, as it's going to be Stormy to land the deagle in his brain. And 3-0. Okay, so I think we can safely assume that this is going to go Anexis' way.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that.
But rounds, what are we thinking? How many rounds can eSuba take from them?
Ooh, I will go for 5.
Ooh, okay.
5 rounds.
Feeling confident they're going to beat their previous score?
Very much so. I'm sure we'll improve on it. But that does depend on them stopping people like Zikox being able to walk into A. If you can control the SMGs of Anexis, you've taken a massive burden off your shoulders already, because literally they do set the pace on this. I've seen them literally walking up and down the street like there's not an opponent on it before, and controlling the map as much as they can, which you've got to stop, and eSuba just don't seem able to. But what's your prediction? How many rounds are we going for the eSuba team?
I'd like to see more of a kind of 13-7, 13-8 kind of thing in scoreline arise. I know, but it's just, at the moment, it's not looking likely. eSuba constantly losing that first player, and it just doesn't go their way since then. You're right though, Zikox as a player he is causing so much trouble, despite maybe not top fragging. He's constantly the man who's in A, controlling the A side, and if you control the A side, there's only one or two other positions that they can be in order to stop that plan.
Exactly, and I think Duffer, one of the crossfire lands really set the tone for holding that kind of A and hassling them so much and really keeping them at bay. But it's quite nice to see that still resonating within COD, that a player so long ago set that kind of tone, and it's still being carried upon. And you can see him doing it once again. A string we taken out of the game from that A side. Finally, a little bit of reply from the eSuba team with Hectic and Sextac picking up one each, as we are left with 4 players up for eSuba, but Zikox in a very dangerous position here, as he does have 2 players around him, as he's waiting for his moment to answer. He knows there's one behind him. 180 round, picks him up, takes that scope out of the game, but he knows there's another by A. He can sense him with his third world kind of spider sense as he cautiously prones around the corner, waiting for his moment to pounce as he sneaks a peek, but he knows they're going to be watching every inch he makes, as he knows there's a guy in cap who's called it to the guy in A, and now they will play accordingly, and he'll just sit tight and wait for the moment to bounce, and he will call it perfectly as he takes the Hectic out of the game, and here's that star picking up one for himself.
And eSuba just cannot touch Anexis' play right now. I'm going to go with the Zikox once again, just so you, ladies and gentlemen, you can just see how he is pushing his A site and how it's being so effective. Does just check his smoke. In fact, you can see there's no real rush in his play. He's getting his smokes and nades out, going to wait for their own as he does eventually make his way towards back 8. And eSuba, I wasn't. Well, there's your problem, ladies and gentlemen. There's no eSuba there. The A site is completely wide open. We've seen. Maybe it's just pure fear, maybe they've done it earlier rounds, but I'm not going to lie to you, that should never happen. Hectic, the only man really, finally does arrive, 30 seconds in, and he lands the spray. That should not have gone that way. Nonetheless, though, eSuba still one man down, 3 for 2 in favour of Anexis. Stormy just in that mid-street, does go down to Fint, and wow, suddenly a 2v2. Made that 2v1 as Future is the last man standing, quickly makes it a 1v1 though. He does fancy a little bit of a duel with Fint. Fint in CAF. Not going to do anything. Oh, and hang on, it looks like he's about to put his face inside Fint's aim. He does just dive into his crosshair. And there it is, 5-1. Finally, the first round, courtesy of Fint, goes to eSuba.
And I can see what he's doing fairly okay for the eSuba team. Normally I'd say oh so right, but I don't think we can call anything oh so right at the moment, as he does very cautiously try and get a little bit of a peek onto the street there, but spots nothing and doesn't want to hang about for any real reason, because he knows there's going to be a player with the name of Stormy waiting for his moment to pounce, as no one dropping just as of yet, and I say that until we picked up. Finally, Suba doing a little bit of work here by themselves, and Boko KZ Star well gone out of the picture as Troom picks up one Finn with another, leaving it all on Stormy. This is such a different eSuba. From round to round they're changing, as maybe there's a ounce of hope as Stormy peeks round with that deagle in hand, spots one by A, Ali gets a tag, not the frag. Alerting the eSuba side where he is with scope in hand. Now he peeks at lower light, nothing there, dives out, almost picks one, tags him with the scope, but finally taken down by Hectic, and it was a, strong effort.
Sorry about that, I do believe my orange juice needed a top up. Right then, so what's what we're looking at? Let's see. I'm going to go with Boko, as he has actually picked up AK, maybe just throwing that SMG to the wind as his spray rivaling to the Super Spray and Calf. Does actually tag, but not the frag. Sex gets that regen. And now, where is Boko go? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Geek nade, late time. What was that? Where's it going? Bialy. In fact, just in front of Calf. Didn't pick up anything though, as Zikox has already picked up 2 on that A side. A wide open. Did finally get down to Hectic though. Trunk as well with a frag on for Future. And Boko and Stormy really holding hands at the moment on light. This needs to change, and fast. Bocco, the man to try and peek. XX doesn't succeed though as he gets the frag. And now the Nexus finally at the disadvantage. Trunk trying to increase that as he does chill in B alley. Hectic and Sexax setting up a gorgeous crossfire. Hectic just going up to top A now. And this is looking more and more like eSuba's round, but Hectic just runs straight into KZ Star's Crosshair again on top A. And why change what was working? Hectic was in a good position, and Nexus could not see him from their positions, and yet he felt the need. And that just was not the right thing to do. Nice play from Stormy, just diving on the wall and picking up the frag. And now I'm going to say it, I don't care what you say, I'm going to say Sexax is in a sticky situation. He is in the position, he knows what, KZ Star knows exactly where he is, and this can only really go one way. Surely he's going to pick up the frag. Actually, KZ Star looking very worse for wear, does get a reload though, and that is not going to be the right move. Sexax should have pushed him as he attempted to replenish those 30 bullets in that AK. And no, the round did go to a Nexus. 6-2 your scoreline. And what did you say, 13-4, did we think?
I said 5, I think. I said that
5.
Oh,
you're right.
I'm feeling a little bit ambitious. Okay. Let's see what Bocco's getting up to this round, as he is very much aggressive on the street, pushing straight towards the captain spot. One does manage to land the frag, and Sexax finally stepping his game up with that AK and taking him out. As we are left in the 5-on-4, Bocco gone. Four Nexus players waiting for their moment to draw back this ever-fading scoreline as Hectic picks up 2 with a little touch of luck there, as he could only see 1, leaving 1 player, the man, the myth, the legend, Stormy, with scope in hand, make his way to that top ruins, gets tagged up from the scope, doesn't manage to land the returning frag as Troom will spray a clip of deagle bullets into his face and take him well and truly out of the picture. 3 rounds to the good for eSuba. Look at them go, they're almost there.
Well, you know, you're right. It's more than possible. I would be impressed to see that 6-6. So I'm gonna fight for the 6-6 freeze. I'm gonna go with Troom now for eSuba. This time I'm gonna try and hold off that Zikox push. I believe it is Zikox once again around that A side. It is Zikox just strolls into back A, completely undeterred by any players from eSuba. And I swear to God, if he gets this frag, finally Fint clues up and catches a glimpse of him. That is what we need to see. I mean, who knows that AK-4 Hectic was about to get savaged from in the back once again, but the bomb does go down from Anexis nonetheless. Anexis, KZ Star and Future both just chilling way back. They know they don't need to do anything. In fact, Future just admiring the lockers. And Stormy picks up a double with that AK. Stormy, no problems for him. Finte and Hectic have both fallen now. As the fake comes out from Sexax, trying to get any sort of peek from the Anexis side. He does get it, but not in the form he was expecting. His Future just cheekily leans out of melons. Going to be Stormy to mop it up as well. 3 frags from him. Very good play. And this is, I mean, Stormy is such a solid AK. You can't take it away from him. Like, I mean, on Backcross especially, when I casted games before, he just chooses, you know, he'd be like, oh, this round looks like an AK round. Oh, I'll pick up 3 frags, dive into the next one. Oh, it's alright, I'll pick up 2 with the scope. No worries. I'll just do how I feel, roll how I feel. And to be honest, it makes it even more difficult for eSuba. They don't know what to expect. Especially Fint, who's constantly checking for that scope peak. And sometimes Stormy, you know, he's not going to be there.
No, I've seen it a lot recently. Kex picking up a little bit of SMG here and there, picking up on backlot when they just need to switch things up. So I guess I don't have that inbuilt fear. If you're an SMG and you do it for months, you automatically think of the nades. You don't want to rush, you don't want to peek this, you don't want to peek that. But they don't have it. With AK, I'm sure he'll be confident. He gets such an overall side of the game with scope, he can pick it up and know where they'll be. Like, he'll know there's players left on A side. He'll know Fint's there already. That's why he's not too bothered about being quite confident on the street. And he's got that real power to the way he plays and that real essence of what Stormy is, which is that confident, that scope with the stand top of that bus, proud and tall, taking the almost kill onto Sexax. They're taking Fint down. Hectic finally replying and taking KZ Star out of this 2-on-3 as it was and leaving it in a 1-on-2 with Hectic and trying to find Stormy, Deagle in hand. Every corner he's peeking will reveal a player, but he does just miss one by a centimetre as SMG spray will come out and greet him with a smile, but Hectic will finally pick up the frag and be almost clutch. Never quite was.
Indeed, and 7-5 would be acceptable, I'm going to say. So let's see how this rolls out. I'm going to go with Zikox once again, just because I really am interested into how he's really... Against a team like eSuba, I would presume getting into A would be a bit of a challenge, you know? But at the moment, Bocco and him really... Oh, spoke too soon. Boko did finally go down to that nade. Zikox changing his mind as he does retreat back across, wall running the bus like a boss. As Trunk is ready and Melons, very aggressive play front with that AK. Gonna come into contact with Zikox though, who was on that counter, and now a 2v2, soon to become a 2v1. No, it's not. Zikox just going to play for the regen. Very nice play from Future as he does get that bomb down, undeterred by the bullets banging into that wall from eSuba. And now we see Future and Zikox going to once again retreat back into those far buildings, as far away and as peak away from any sort of scope. Sort of peak from Finn. Finn's not going to give it anything. Oh, and Zikox playing aggressive. Interesting, as he's maybe more than confident in Future's play, as Future does just try and watch that bust. Doesn't want to show any more than his feet though, as Zikox is the one to pick him up. 4 frags for Zikox that round, a beautiful play, and what a way to round off that game to 8-4.
Very much so, and Zikox was almost clinical the way he did that. They attempted a nade, it didn't work, they dropped the nade, they lost a little bit of the, you know, momentum they had going. He switched it up, they saw they might have had trouble with there might have been a player in, probably called by Stormy, straight away over there, cleared it out, noted the player in there, picked up the frag, picked up the one who peeked him afterwards, and it was so clinical. Inch by inch, he literally knew exactly where he was going, and just dominated that entire round. That is incredible SMG play.
Dude, like, and the fact that he changed it so quickly, you know, I mean, 2 seconds ago he was charging towards the A site, and then he was in mid-street and he'd already killed one in Calf and one in Melon, you know what I mean?
It's a sign, it's what makes the difference between a good player and a great player. It's that moment to adapt. It's, you know, that's why you get teams like Anexis just dominating games like this, because they can adapt as a team. But the first frag of the second half will drop in front of Future's feet as he will be taken out by the nade, as Troom replying with one of his own onto Boko. 2 to the good for eSuba as they have a slight advantage. Hectic with one of his own kids around the game. Stormy and Zikox left alive as Zikox finally replying from such a cautious place, but you know, let's see what Stormy's up to as he is getting tagged up here, but nothing coming of it as the spam's flying through the walls. Nothing. Zikox isn't in much of a better situation as they're surrounded by the eSuba men with guns at their side as the spray will fly in and Hectic will pick up the frag onto Zikox. Trunk replying quickly onto Stormy, and first round going to eSuba.
Indeed, and this is maybe what eSuba needed, this kind of the diversity of an attack, which they can kind of, you know, maybe mould the Nexus into something that they easier to chew. As Stream does open up onto Boko, another SMG down early in the round. Boko's really having issues at the moment getting into Melons, and so he should, as Stream gets another play. Both SMGs are now down, and that was really good play from him. It's Trunk as well, the double T. That's Hectic as well. eSuba dominating this round. Can they get the clean sweep? Stormy's going to do his very best to not let that happen, as he is on A. It's not going to do much though, as Hectic picks up that frag, and 6-8, a nice and tasty clean sweep, just what eSuba's confidence needed.
Very much so, and it does seem as though Anexis has been put on the back foot, but then again this did happen on back foot. The first round went to eSuba. The quick adaptation happened. Anexis came back, and it's all about that tip for tap. But I like the way eSuba is finally showing a little bit of clarity here from their previous games. They've been so good at what they do. But watching the scopes off the bat, I can't see anything happening as there's such good smoke on the street. And teams like this will not make that mistake. It's the first frag will go to Sexax, who will take it onto Boko, which means that's one of the strong SMGs out of the picture already. The second will go in the way of Anexis, finally with a touch of a reply, but Trump right, cautiously holding that door as Hectic will pick up one onto Zikox, and the Nexus have 3 players alive. And they've got a lot of work to do to stop these eSuba boys from getting that bomb down. And we'll see what they're going to try on this B area, as Stormy will break that silence, taking Hectic out of the game, evening it up 3-on-3. Troom still alive in that B area, waiting for a peek. Sexax with a very keen nade on Stormy, knowing he'd be there. And that is how you play it, slow and careful. eSuba dominating the pace here, as I think Troom just caught a glimpse of the shoulder of a player in that lower A area, as there was KZ Star, who goes straight out there, leaving it to Future, who makes his way into B and does get dropped by Trunk. 7-8, and it's getting closer and closer.
Indeed, I mean, we were so confident in Nexus' victory, and this is looking more and more like it could be a bit more of a challenge. Hectic taking up what was Boko on the previous map, and in fact Boko taking up what Hectic was on the previous map. It's in a complete role reversal. Hectic dropping about 4 at the end of that game. And this time we see Boko doing the same with Hectic on 18 frags. Lovely to see, as eSuba seem to have kind of got into their stride. Future heavily tagged on that light area. Saxex has already picked up a frag onto Boko though. Future, very calm play. KZ Star does pick up one for Anexis. Looks to be Hickox hunting for another. As he does put some spray into our basement. Nothing though to come of it. As Saxex retreats to throw what I can only assume is a nade into that cafe area. It does dive in as...
Oh my god!
What did I just witness?
I just don't know.
Oh dear, Trome just going down to what was, I don't even know, a tic-tac through the air. And just knocking him on that skull. Still though, 3v2, Trunk and Sexax, the two eSuba players remaining. Hickox changes that though as he does take down Sexax as well. Suddenly Anexis back into the comfort zone. Trunk's got plenty of time, doesn't need to force that plant down. He can hunt for the frags, but the hunt... He was the prey in that round as Hickox picked up the third frag and the round to 9-7. And Anexis really going to want to come back into their strong and heavy stride, which was so dominant earlier on.
We were very much watching a different team when we were watching eSuba before. They looked so strong in the last few rounds, but I'm guessing that frag onto, I believe it was Troom, must have just put them off their step, and you've
I wasn't watching, was it a nade or a frag grenade?
I don't know, it might have
flash?
been a flash, it could be anything, but it's not what you want. That is the one thing I can tell you. And Fry's going tit for tat as one pick of the other. 1-4 situation. The game players slowing down, but Hickox keeping the pace up as he will pick up the frag onto Hectic, replying for his dead teammate, but Troom holding B, but not quite well enough as Boko will pick up another for the Anexis team, and another as Finn will drop to the work of his SMG, leaving Sexex with a hell of a lot to do, but Future far too aware to let that happen as he picks up the frag. 10-7 scoreline, eSuba definitely slightly losing that ever-strong grip they once had and just a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, I'm going to go Fint now for eSuba, see if he can pick up any opening frags. So hungry just to take down Stormy. Stormy, I don't think, really has gone down early on. Besides this round, as yes, actually gone down. I suppose Fint does catch a really deep nade from KZ Star alongside a frag onto Troom. As Boko as well with a deagle. Boko putting some bullets into B alley. From B alley, sorry, into the A side. And now Trunk, where are you, Trunk, and what can you do? He's got 4 players to find. Plenty of time to do so, but I just don't think this is possible. Bullets going into Melons like it's no tomorrow. And there it is, finally the frag does appear, and 11-7 is your scoreline. 2 rounds needed for Anexis to bring this lower bracket final to a close.
Yeah, this is Anexis now just stepping up. They saw what was happening, and they've just said, hell no, this is not going on, and Finn will start off the frag. Maybe, just maybe, eSuba will finally step up once again as Hectic will pick up the first. Second even on to Boko, but Anexis with a quick reply from Hickox taking down 2. 2-on-3 situation. Anexis still... Oh no! It was a 3-on-3. Hickox must have been within a centimetre of his life. As the eSuba team must slow down this player, not peek so much, but Stormy will punish Finn for peeking an inch too much. We are left with 2 eSuba players with it all to do with Troom and Trunk, but Stormy seeing not but a centimetre, if that, of Trunk there, and the real important frag going to him, breaking that attack.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, this is really interesting to see, because from Anexis they really have adapted, because KZ Star had never thrown that nade before. I was just kind of interested as to what he did, and he's just aware of what Fint's been doing, his positioning in that mid-street, and straight away he's got a nade there to lock it down, and that has completely stopped any sort of kind of mid-street play from the AKs or the scope, and it's great. We see Troom actually forced now back. He is actually on a quick let me make this say this word.
Kiosk.
Thank you!
Kiosk?
Oh, God!
Definitely kiosk.
Yeah, there, anyway, the kiosk. Troom in Melons. Okay, Troom is in Melons, does have the bomb. And the only man really, any sort of threat to him is Future. Oh, and I spoke too soon, KZ Star. As soon as Troom moved, got a nice little headshot onto him. And Zico's got the frag onto Hectic as well. Stormy following that one right up onto Finn. And the GG's coming out. No trust in Sexax whatsoever. eSuba really not going to put their money on their teammate today. 4 players do remain. And there it is. KZ Star mops it up. 13-7 is that final scoreline. A better scoreline. Not good enough.
Than both of us predicted. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, actually, to be fair, I was about to say 13-7.
I can imagine you were very close.
Oh, I was, but I was like, I'll hold it back for now.